Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figure, Baxter Stockman, from the original Mirage comic books by NECA. Now I'm really excited to open this figure up. I've been a big fan of the original Baxter Stockman, and I feel like he was an underutilized character that, as soon as the cartoons got him, one, they changed his race, which I wasn't too hip about. Plus, they also made him into a giant fly. So now we have the original Baxter, and I want to see what NECA did with him. So, with all that being said, roll that intro. So here he is in packaging. You pretty much have the standard packaging that they use for the Turtle comic book figures. So you have Nickelodeon here, NECA. You have this nice window where you can see him, all his accessories, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, some comic book art, and his name. Come around to this side here. You get a continuation of the window, Nickelodeon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Picture of Baxter with a shaded out mouser behind him. All right. Around here. You get a couple of different poses of him, which is pretty cool. You get everybody that's part of this wave. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. The Rat King. He looks wicked. And back around here, where you get a nice picture of him with one of the Mousers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And back around to the front. Top, not a whole lot going on there. You got the Nickelodeon Turtles, your age restriction and choking hazards. And then underneath, you got your legal and skew. So, all that being said, let's open him up and see what he's about. So here he is out of packaging. The first thing we're going to do with him is we're going to start looking at his points of articulation. So the head does move. Get some good head movement. Got a shoulder joint, a double elbow joint. Weird kind of style how they did it, but it sort of works, I guess. Got a wrist joint. You do have a joint here at the hips. You got your thigh joint, your knee joints, a little bit tight, but they are there. And an ankle joint. All right. So all his joints seem to work pretty well with him. Don't have any issues. So the first thing I want to do is look at the head sculpt for him. Now I do feel like they captured the overall look from the comic. That's the one thing I'm really liking about a lot of these NECA figures is the factor that they really do capture the old Mirage style art with these figures and the overall look to them. Like, especially how they add in, like, the black lines and stuff. I like how they add all that in. It gives it more of a comic book feel to them. So we're going to give him the rotation. Now, because he's a basic character, he doesn't have a whole lot of detail to talk about. But he definitely has the look from the comics. And he has all the detail that this particular character requires. So I like the overall look to him in general. So now let's start taking a look at his accessories. So first off, he comes with a couple different hands. So he has a holding hand. I think this is another holding hand. All right. He has a pointing hand. And he has a gripping type hand, which will be used for the small building that I'll show you right now. Because if I remember right, it's been a minute since I read the original comics. He was trying to use the mousers to dig under all the buildings and have them go underground and what have you. You know, some sort of wild mad scientist idea. So, that's why he has this small building. And then here you got him smiling a little bit more. Right? He also comes with a mouser. Now the mouser, the mouth opens up, head and neck moves around, legs move. You got a knee joint and an ankle joint. That's pretty cool. I think I would have liked to have seen him come with at least two, but one will work. And then you also have his computer. Now, obviously, this is like a, you know, late 80s, early 90s style computer because you have like the diskette ports there, or that might even be floppy disks, to be honest with you. So the computer looks really nice. I like the detail that they put into it, even with the ports in the back. So that's pretty nice and what have you. Now, none of his accessories, other than the building, are really meant to interact with him. So we're going to try the head first. All right, that came off pretty easy. All right, so the head swapped out very easily. No need for any kind of heat or what have you. So now let's do these two holding hands. Let's get them out of the way. And where's the other one? Here it is. All right. So the two holding hands work very well with them. I have no issues with those. All right. Let's do these other two hands. So he has the pointing hand to tell the mousers where to go and to attack April O'Neil, because the original comics, she wasn't a news reporter. She was actually his assistant. And when she found out what he was doing, he sent the mousers after her, and the turtles rescued her from there. So there's that. Let's see how well this holds in his hand. Top or the bottom? Looks like the top. All right. So there you go. You can have him pointing with the building in his hand. So that works pretty well also. Now, if you had a small table or something for him, let's get this. You spin this hand around, spin him this way. You can actually make it look like he's tapping onto the computer and what have you. So that's pretty cool. Here, let's do it from this side. So like I said, you got a table or something, you could definitely have it look like he's also typing on the computer as well. So I do like that this hand is versatile like that, so you could have it holding both the building and work with the computer. So overall, I like how all his accessories work with him. So let's get into my final thoughts with him. So first off, the joints and all move very well. No issues with any of his joints. The same with his head and hands. They swapped out very easily. Didn't need to use heat, because sometimes with these NECA figures, you do need to use heat with them. This figure, I did not, so I really like the factor that I didn't have to. All his accessories fit well with him. The ones that are designed to move with his hands and stuff, like the building. And even I like the factor how his one hand can actually look like he's typing on the keyboard of his computer. So I overall like that as well. And I like the design of the mouser. I think the mouser looks really cool. I like the factor that it does have moving joints, and then the mouth can open. So I feel like that's a good detail. So his overall look, I do like the overall look to him. He definitely captures the look from the comic books. Now, you didn't need to do anything big and spectacular with this figure look-wise, because he wasn't meant to look big and spectacular. So that's what I like about him. They really did capture that old Mirage look for this character. Now, the one thing I'm not too hip on with this figure is the heads. I feel like if you're going to make two head sculpts for a character, they should have some extreme difference, or at least some very noticeable differences. So this head, opposed to the other one, the only real difference is one is smiling a little bit more than the other. The one has a small smile, the other one has a larger smile. I figure if you're going to make two head sculpts, you should make them two extreme differences. So maybe one smiling, one angry or screaming or something like that. So that's the only real issue I have with this figure, is I feel like they should have did a little bit more with the head sculpts. But other than that, would I recommend this figure? Yes, I would. I think he's a great figure. it's good to finally get an original Baxter Stockman figure. I've been wanting a figure like this forever to go with the rest of my turtle collection and what have you. So I'm really happy with this figure. I think it would fit perfectly with the rest of your comic book version Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. So with that being said, I hope you guys did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.